Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone to the championship decider in championship in Imola. We are here for the final round of the season, of season 5, and once again, thanks to Smith, we have the updated live standings, now constructors included as well, which is great. Need to have a quick chat with him. So we have to work our way around it, but yeah, I don't have OBS, so I can't show you the live standings on screen, but you will have to trust me currently, as Smith has a 36-point gap ahead of Rodo, and Tonček is already out of this championship fight in the last round. So it will be between Smith and Rodo tonight, and both of them are racing. Booty and Tonček are still in the fight for P3 in the championship, and Matt is not that far behind, and he's also racing. Unfortunately, Snitsy, Booty, Matt have been the only drivers who have not enabled their the telemetry, so I can't see that. And the teams I have to calculate. In the constructors, it's still pretty close. It's Williams on 399 points, followed by Red Bull in P2 with 378 points, and then 365 points for Alfa Romeo. So only 33 points between the top 3 in the constructors. We have 2 Williams, we have 2 Alfa Romeos, but only 1 Red Bull. So Red Bull will struggle tonight. Which is unfortunate because Raika is not here. But yeah, it is close in the championship, so that's exciting. Still some deciders left in the final round. But yeah, we will see how this one goes. It is Andrew currently the first on the lap. He has returned after Silverstone, and he scored a podium there in his first race after dropping down, and I think he will move up to the Premier Division again in next season after the no line change. And it is a McLaren round, and I think it's Snitsy because I just followed Kieran there. And good luck to Wardy and Stebo in the chat from Colin, and good evening to Colin. Now you know the maths from the Algear standings. I can't see that currently, so I hope Ferrari can finally get that third time lucky, they say. Oh, Tonček was the first one. It's a 16.5. No, my sound is quite hard. I need to turn it down a bit, as Dino is following him in P2. And then it is Andrew. It's very close behind him. And Stubby moves up to P3. But let's see, I think Haas will be the next one. The only Aston Martin left to the line, and it's a P5 17.1. We got one of the McLarens, it's Kieran, and Kieran moves up to P6 at 17.3. But then it's Rodo, 1,000th of a second ahead of Andrew there in P2. But he will need everything. Oh, and then Stebo, 16.7 on the mediums. Now that is impressive. And that is a very quick lap from him. He showed a lot of pace on Monday. So he is looking strong. But what is Smith? Can Smith get ahead? Smith moves to pole position with a 16.3. And that is what he needs for the championship. And Matt moves up to P5 then. And I think everyone else will be in. It's Booty on the lap. Yeah, Booty is on the lap. He had won a race. Stebo's on no line, and that is impressive. And he surely has a lot of pace, if that's no line. Now Booty to the line. He moves up to P3, 16.5. So we got 4 cars in 16.5, and within a half a tenth of each other, which is very close. It is a short track though, but still very impressive from the guys here. But yeah, Rodo will need every point he can. He needs the maximum points to have a shot at the championship, and Smith currently takes a point for pole position, which will not help Rodo at all in the championship. Good luck to Alpine, Ivor says in the chat, and good evening to you. And the last race of season 5 it is. And Wardy's just started his lap, so we follow the Ferrari driver then. Number 46 will still be driving for Ferrari next season together with Stebo as his teammate. I'm not sure if Wardy is on the no line, but I think he did talk about it. As a practice, of course, we will switch to the no line in the next season, and I will try it myself tomorrow. I did it on Monday in a bit of a struggle, but still I think it worked out alright. With a bit more practice tomorrow, I hope I can have a good race. But we will have to see. Down to this tricky part in the final sector. To the line, Wardy goes up to P11. It's a 17.2. Dragos is also on a lap. The Mercedes guys. Down in P9 in the constructors, and it doesn't look like they can move up any position. But they have shown a lot of pace this season, but just didn't get the points. Dragos moves up to P12. It's a 17.3. And I think Snitsy is on the lap, so we will follow him. McLaren driver was quick in the qualifying in Baku last week. Oh, and he spun again. I think he spun on the previous round or previous lap, and he spun again. Now Cosmo is on an out lap. So most of these guys, and I think Tonchek will be the first to go for another lap. Alfa Romeo, they are a bit behind Williams, but still in this championship fight for the constructors. Oh, hitting the ball out there. And into turn 1, tricky turn 1. Don't want to jump the curbs. He's a bit glitchy on my screen. But we will move into this fast section to the first sector line. He's almost 1.5 turns up, and it's purple in sector 1. Into this left-hander. Now the downhill part to Aqua Minerale. Oh, that's alright. Again purple into the final sector then. For this downhill braking, this is a difficult part to get right. You can easily lose a lot of time around here. Watch out for track limits. They can be tricky to the line. And it's 1:16.1, and that is currently the fastest lap. Let's see who is the next one to cross the line. I think it might be a Ferrari of Stebo. I'm not sure he's on the lap. No, he's on an out lap still. And what is Dino? Is Dino on the lap? Don't think so. He's using half of his power. And everyone else behind is on an out lap. That's invalidated. Let's see the AlphaTauri, and Andrew is on the lap. And he's quick, and the McLaren is into the gravel, and that is Kieran. The Snitsy is in the pit lane. Andrew got pole position in Silverstone off the sprint. To the line. It's P1, 15.9. 2 tenths quicker than Tonchek, and that is a good lap. But Rodo is also on the lap. He is improving, Roda moves up to P4 behind his championship rival. Matt to the line. Matt improves only just, but not the position. And then it's Smith. Is Smith improving? No, Smith is just starting his lap, I think. Yeah, then it's Dino. No, he's in the garage. It's a Ferrari. It's Stebo maybe. Stebo's up 3.5 tenths. And he was quick on those mediums. What can he do on the soft tires? Stebo 16.1 in P3, just behind Tonchek. But still in P3. Booty is on an out lap. Let's see who is on the lap. Stubby is not going flat out. I think Haas is. Haas is going purple in sector 2. He's currently 1.2 seconds behind. Oh, and Smith crashed. And Smith is out of the qualifying session. Oh, he's on track. Oh, what he just about missed him there. On his lap, that's really annoying. Haas to the line. Haas moves up to P8. And someone else behind. No, Rodo is going in. Matt is going in. Is it McLaren is on an out lap, and it is Drago starting his lap. With Smith out in the qualifying, so no pole position for him then tonight. And let's see how much further he will drop. A 16.3, still a very good lap, but we have 6 minutes left in this qualifying session. So the track will get faster near the end of the session, and these guys might improve their times. But good evening to Inorganic in the chat. And he's saying good luck to Kieran. And good evening to... I hope I pronounce your name right. Akuribai? I hope that's my best shot at it. Oh, someone's gone quicker. It is Booty. Booty moves up to P4. So AlphaTauri, they are 4th in the championship. But they got a P1 and P4 in the qualifying right now. No one else is improving. Stubby is improving. Or is he just starting his lap? I think he improved to P8. Dino is on a flyer. No, he's just starting his lap. But I think Dragos is on the lap 2 tenths quicker. Oh, that's a McLaren, and I think it is Snitsy who spun again. Dragos moves up to P10. And Wardy's not improving, so we switch back to Dino. Where is he? There he is. Currently 17.0. Oh, and Dino has lost it and is into the wall. And it seems like the Alpines are very laggy tonight. That could just be my connection, but I think it's the general connection. But currently McLaren is down in P13 and P15. Which I know in the L gear standings is quite good for Ferrari. But let's see, is someone on an out lap? I think Andrew is about to start his lap. Oh, Stubby's also on the lap. No, Stubby's going in. He will improve this lap. But let's follow Andrew. Can he improve on the pole position time he currently has? And so we will follow him for a lap. Oh, traffic ahead, and he's lost his wing. And that is, yeah, really annoying. I don't know which McLaren it was. I think it's Kieran. And yeah, he has wing damage, and that's the end of his run, I think, because he only has 3 minutes left. 3.5 minutes, and before he can go out again, I don't think he has the time. So that's a bit unfortunate. They're traffic into turn 1. I mean, the people know he's coming. But yeah, unfortunate. Huss is on a cockpit cam tonight, so good luck to him. That's interesting. It's always a challenge cockpit cam. But we follow Rodo then from P2, and you could describe it as the Alpine 23 livery, as we already leaked. It's already been leaked, so it's almost the same, just as most cars, to be fair. But let's follow Rodo into turn 1. Oh, not improving in the first sector. Into sector 2. Oh, he's almost equal on this time. But he needs 2/10 to jump ahead of his... Oh, that's not ideal. No invalidation. But he needs 2/10 to jump ahead of his championship rival. To the line. It's an 18.4, so he's lost 2 seconds in the final sector there. And he might do one slow lap and then go for it again. Matt has invalidated. Is Kieran on a lap? Kieran has invalidated. And what else Huss is doing? Huss is, I think, starting his lap. Behind 2 AlphaTauris. Jeez, that was close. And right through him. And I think Druggles is starting his lap, because you can see that with his ERS. Wardy is on a lap. To the line, it's 16.7, jumps up to P8. And that is a good lap from Wardy. Is it Tonchek the first one? He has invalidated. It is Dino. And Dino is just about starting his lap then. But let's see, the only Williams left. So starting his lap. We get the final laps coming in now. And Snitchy also starting his lap. But let's see. Oh, Snitchy's gone for a lap. It's a 16.1, the first clean lap he gets. And it moves him up to the front row. And Stebo is starting his lap, but I think Rodo is... Oh, it's the other Williams out. So both Williams just crashed in the qualifying. That's not what they want, as they're still leading in the constructors. But of course you would want to improve. And Haas is not improving, and both AlphaTauris are on an out lap. We switch to Kieran, who will be the first to cross the line on his lap. Kieran jumps to P13 with a 16.8. What is Matt? Can Matt jump up any positions? To the line, it's P7. Rodo is finished in P8. It's one of the Mercedes. It's Zagos now jumping up to P8. And dropping Rodo down the grid. Tonchek won't improve as he has invalidated. So he will stay in P3. Can Dino improve? Dino doesn't improve. He stays in P14. Then Wardy won't improve. Kieran is going slow. Snitsy might go for another lap. I'm not sure what he's doing. No, he invalidated. Tonchek retired in the session. Now Stebo, can he take away the pole position? He is quick. He is quick enough. And he just about takes the pole position away from Andrew. And let's see, what is Haas doing? Haas isn't improving. But can Andrew improve? Andrew is on an improvement. It is first, it's Booty. The first of the 2 AlphaTauris. And the final guys to finish this lap. Booty has a car ahead of him, which won't help him. But Booty to the line. Will he jump? No, he stays P5. Andrew then. Can Andrew take away the pole position? Yes, he can! 12 thousandths of a second. Andrew takes the pole position away from Stebo. And that is a very close fight for the lead. But yeah, Stebo was very close to his first pole position, I think. But yeah, Andrew got that point. But a very close qualifying. Snitchy, a very great lap in P3. Tonchek is in P4, which is good for Alpha. Romeo Booty is in P5, making it a P1 and a P5 for AlphaTauri in the qualifying. Smith, the championship leader, is in P6. Matt is in P7. It struggles with a great lap in P8. It is Rodo, the one who needs to score the maximum points in P9 and have a bit of luck. Wardy is in P10. Stubby, the other Williams, is in P11. Haas is in P12. Kieran is in P13. Dino in P14. That is not what Alfa Romeo would have wanted, but it's still a long race, and Cosmo finishes in P15, not starting a lap. So it is Andrew with the pole position, and that is another point to the AlphaTauri team, and another pole position for Andrew. So he's done 2 races and he started on pole position twice, as we see the final results once again. As I just told you guys, it's a very close gap between Smith and Matt. And it's not that big of a gap between Snitsy, Tonchik and Booty, so very close. But let's see, 32 laps ahead of us in Imola for the championship decider. I think everyone else. So both Williams and both Alpha... Oh my god, my internet just went out, so I have to log in again on the points. But I think both Alfa Romeos and both Williamses have their tests or their telemetry set up. Red Bull, the Matt, his Red Bull doesn't have that, but we just have to count his points manually then. As we log in again. So it should be all there, yep. So it's still available. It says fastest lap not set, which is correct. So I hope the fastest lap is included in this. We will have to see. And I don't know if it's a dry race. It looks like a dry race, but it is a bit cloudy. And let's see, once the points have been set in, what the championship standing is looking like. "15 seconds left before the start of the final race of this season, before we move to season 6. We could call it a new era of RPM. With a lot of position changes in every aspect. But yeah, it is updated again with the points currently added. Let's see, Matt is P7. Now, I'm not that great with calculations. Let's see who's in P8. It is Dragos. Let's see what Dragos gets. 13. Oh, he will get 16. So, counting 16, Red Bull will be 1 point out of Alfa Romeo currently. Williams will still be champion. Yeah, and Colin, if you could keep me updated with all gears, I can also have a check on that. So dry race from Inorganic is what we hear. So our local weatherman is asked what the weather is looking like. So Andrew starts on the hards, Haas is on the hards, and Rodo is on the hards. Interesting, wants to go long maybe. And Chow, I think it's Richie. Good luck, Wardy and Stebo. All division team title awaits, and I hope we can finally get it, because I'm still part of that team. We have lost it once on the final corner because of me being taken out by a driver. We've lost it in the stewards room after the final race by just a few points, but this time we could get the title finally after the third time lucky. Let's see, everyone moves up to the grid. And the fastest lap, now the pole position point is awarded currently. And the fastest lap one is currently added as well. So well done to Smith for improving that. Oh, that's a way of warming up your tires. But yeah, Smith has improved the live standings very much, and it's a very good addition. I mean, I had to do it on my own with calculations, but this is great. I mean, you get to see the, I think most of you have seen it yesterday. You get to see the yeah, the teams with the nice logo and the colors and live position changes. So it's a very well done system. I think, yeah, you have to give Smith some credit for that. 20 viewers as we start the final race of the season. Let's get a good view. Can we? I hope it switches after the lights out. And the lights out for the final time of the season. I think Stebo has a good start. I can't see it. I have to wait for the drivers to switch. There we go. And Booty has a great start already up to P2. Mercedes is on the grass. But Booty challenges his teammate into turn 1. Oh, and it's an Alfa Romeo going wide. And let's see if everyone else behind has gone through. I think a Mercedes has crashed. It is a crash in the back. Between the Ferrari has lost his wing. And that is Thibaut, unfortunately. Oh, and Smith might have been involved. Smith is dropping down some positions. As we see some fighting up ahead. Rodo up to P5. But Booty jumps from P5 to P1. And what a great start into turn 1. And it's a 1-2 for AlphaTauri. Matt is in P3. Stubby moved up to P4. That's a good start. Snitzy dropped back to P5. Rodo is now in P6. Tonchek, Bordy, Huss, Smith overtaking Kieran. Kieran is dropping some positions. As Cosmo is overtaking Kieran, already moved up to P11, starting P15. And Kieran in the fight with the McLarens, but unfortunately Stebo's got wing damage on the first lap. And he drops down to last place. But the great start from Booty once again. And he has won the last race very dominantly, you could say. But oh yeah, so currently it says Thibaut has the fastest lap, which isn't a fastest lap point, which isn't correct. It is Booty, but Booty will get 41 points jump then. That would get him up to P3 in the championship. So still fight for P3. Kieran is in. But let's see how things settle. Currently a 25 points gap between Smith and Rodo in the championship. As Rodo and Tonchek are fighting. Got a bit of a train here. Down to P6. Ooh, Rodo running wide. Now Tonchek is having a look around the outside into Aqua Minerale and he's passed. And that is a great move. Oh, Huss has gone wide, losing some positions. Oh, and he jumps ahead and he's getting taken out. And it is a crash between Cosmo and Huss. And it's a safety car, question mark? No, it's a virtual safety car. But yeah, unfortunate damage between Cosmo and Huss is out, so no points for Aston Martin tonight. And Huss was trying to do the no cockpit cam and it only lasted 2 laps. Oh, Cosmo, that is not nice, taking out the braking boards for people with no line. And we caught that on stream, but please don't do that. Because it's very annoying when you don't know where to brake, because there are no boards available. But it is a virtual safety car then. Oh, there goes over to Dino. Gap now 30 points between Smith and Rodo. So Smith and Williams will be crowned champion. And it is a restart. Oh, and Tonchek was sleeping a bit. And Rodo is passed. And let's see, Wardy. Oh, Matt has overtaken. Oh, almost overtaken Andrew, but Andrew's fighting back, and Stubby's right behind him. Stubby up the inside of Matt. Oh, he's round, and he spins the Red Bull round. And Snitzy now moving up from P5 to P3, but Matt is dropping back, and Snitzy is up to P3 ahead of Stubby. But I think Stubby will get a punishment for that in the stewards room. A bit of a late dive. And Matt dropped down to P9. Still ahead of Jagos. But Booty already has a gap of 3 seconds. Now fighting behind Stubby up the inside with DRS. Oh, and Dragos gets the fastest lap. But is Snitzy fighting back? Into the S's. We got a bit of fighting. Rodo and Tonchek is now losing some positions. Wardy moves up to P6. And Rodo is up to P5. And it is Smith behind. Cosmo sabotaging once again, yep. Yeah, Cosmo will hit you around, unfortunately. That's a bit unlucky. Oh, it's a yellow. It is Snitsy. He spun. And he will rejoin behind Smith. I think he is spun. Oh, the Alfa Romeo going a bit wide of Tonchek. This is a great battle for P4 as Booty sets the fastest lap. But Wardy is going for a move on P4 here. And he's overtaken Rodo and moves up to P4. Snitsy around the outside of Smith. Snitsy overtaking Smith. And Smith now under pressure from Matt behind. Have to keep an eye out on the 3 cars fighting in front of him. As Rodo is losing some positions to Tonchek. Maybe Tonchek now around the outside of Rodo. Rodo really struggling on those hard tires up the inside. He has the inside line, but the outside line has better traction as Tonchek moves up to P5. Rodo drops down to P6. And is under pressure from Smith now as Smith is moving up the inside. Snitsy. Snitsy moves up to P6, so Rodo losing 3 positions in 1 lap and is now under pressure from Smith, his championship rival. But Matt is also looking for it to overtake Smith. Ooh, almost going up the inside. And if he finishes like this, he will be champion, so no rush on his side. But great fighting so far in this race. And Booty showing his dominance once again. And if he hadn't been so unlucky in the first races of the season, he would have been closer to this championship fight, I'm sure. But here's Smith on Rodo then. On his championship rival up the inside. And he is passed. And Matt is looking for an overtake on Rodo. But he's currently not getting past. And Rodo is dropping back on those hard tires. But he will have the advantage coming the end of the race. We know that. Oh, Matt is into the wall. He's lost it behind Rodo and no DNF, but he has lost his wing, and that's unfortunate for Red Bull in this standings then. And in his fight for P5, but he's continuing on. But let's see, Stubby's putting pressure on Andrew, and Wardy is leading the train in P4. Yeah, Wardy is doing a very good job. Cosmo picks up the first penalties of the race. Moves up to P4. Really is a racer in the race. As well, I think Wardy started P9 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he's P10. He's already moved up 6 positions in the first 7 laps of this race. But let's see, Rodo's under pressure from Dragos now. And Rodo is struggling on those hard tires. But Snitsy is looking at a move on Tonchek. Snitsy has a lot of pace. Oh, and Rodo picks up 3-second penalties. Or 3-second time penalty, and that won't help him. That's now Snitsy sending purple sector 1. And Matt is in for his wing change, but it is very close. It's a very close fight here, but also up front for P2. Yes, Stubby is on the mediums, but he is not that far off Booty as well. Can Wardy lead this train? I'm not sure what wings these guys are using. But yeah, Rodo's lost 3 seconds now to Smith ahead. And he's under pressure from Drago, so he's losing a lot of positions. and he is nowhere near the championship, as Andrew has been overtaken by Stubby. And then behind we see Dragos overtaking Rodo, but let's switch up front to Tonček, Snitsy and Wardy, and you could say Smith. Snitsy is a driver who will go for it when he has the chance, but he's sticking behind for now. Well, he can't keep up with the pace ahead, but that's no problem. I mean, he's in P4, so he will defend that, because that's a great position to be in. And he might... Oh, and Tonček lost the traction. Dragos picks up a 3-second penalty, but now Snitsy up the inside of Tonček. Tonček cuts the corner. Snitsy goes wide. Now Smith has a run on Snitsy. I think Tonček picked up a penalty there. It is a 3-second time penalty for Tonček, who cut the corner. And now Smith. The Williams has come alive in this race, because we have to give Stubby some credits. He started, I think, P9 or P11, and he is now up to P2. But Snitsy has a lot of straight line speed, it seems like. Oh, he's using... Smith only has used about 10% of his ERS. He's on 90 still, compared to the... If you look at the guys ahead, they're on 10%, so... He has a lot more ERS. So now Snitsy picks up a 3-second time penalty. So these 3-second time penalties are helping Smith, because he doesn't have any. And it does give him less pressure, because if the race would end right now, he would be jumping to P5. But I was about to say, Wardy has scored 100 points in the first 11 races, and currently, if it finishes like this, he will get 26. So a quarter of his points he already has. It's raining time. Oh, I've heard it isn't going to rain, but it would spice some things up here. Championship still not decided, even though Smith would win the championship by 42 points right now. And I think... Oh! It's Stubby is lost to Andrew, so he might have made a mistake. I was about to have a look at the fastest lap. Matt has the fastest lap. Oh, time penalties, sorry. Yeah, I didn't... Yeah, it is raining time penalties, that's true. Already have 5 drivers out of the 14 left with penalties. And we're only 10 laps into this race. We've seen no safety car. Only a virtual one. So Ferrari would take all gears if it stays like this. It is Cosmo into the wall. And he has lost his wing, reversing back onto the track. And it won't cause any safety car or virtual safety car. So he will just drop down to P14, but Booty is already approaching him. So he's about to be lapped. But Ferrari would take the all tiers if it stayed like this. And there is Cosmo moving out of the way of Booty. So that will be nice if Ferrari can take it before the final race. Oh, and Cosmo's off again, I think. So these drivers will approach him soon. Now I'm wondering what's going on inside the mind of Wardy when he sees a yellow flag and it's Cosmo ahead, who's a lap down. I think Cosmo might retire in the pits, although you don't want that to happen. Yeah, it was a very slight trap from Juhas, but if you hit it at the right angle, well, I suspect it causes more damage. Whoa, Stubby now picks up the 3-second time penalty. That is not ideal in the fight for P2. But he still has quite a lot of ARS for a guy leading the pack or leading the train. The Tonchek is close now. Yellow flag, that's Cosmo. Oh, Snitzy's into the wall. Snitsy has spun. Behind, watch out for the rejoin. There's still an Alfa Romeo coming. And great for waiting there. But that's another position for Smith. Oh, and Cosmo retired in the pit lane, and that is what I suspected there. Or expected, I should say. But still no safety car, and it is Snitsy again who spun. So he's dropping down, unfortunately. Stebo with an overtake on Kieran for P11. And I think Smith finishing the race will be enough for him in the championship. So Cosmo won't improve any positions this season, and he will stay P15 in the championship. He might drop down to P16 if Andrew does win this race. But I don't think that will happen. Let's see, Alfa Romeo will jump Red Bull in the standings, but Williams will be crowned champion. Currently. No changes down the grid. Well, I think, no, to be fair, 40 points added for, no, AlphaTauri won't get that. I was thinking about AlphaTauri getting P3 ahead of Red Bull, but that won't be the case. Oh, Smith going a bit deep. Oh, and he's in. Well, Stubby 5-second time penalty speeding in the pit lane. Now that is not great for him again. And that's a bit of a disaster, but the B are entering the pit stop round now. Stubby switches to the hard tires. And Barty is promoted up to P3. And Andrew is slowly closing in, I think, on Booty. Booty, of course, on that older mediums. But let's see how things will change after the pit stops. Dragos has some great pace, he's closing in. And the fight ahead, Booty, the the race leader is in. And will Wardy follow him? Wardy is going in, Tonchek is following, Smith stays out, Dragos is in. Oh, Tonchek hit the wall, or the pit entry board. Rodo is staying out, of course, on those. Oh, and it's someone rounded. It is Snitsy again. And Stebo will approach him anytime soon. Stubby back to P6. He has quite a big gap to Wardy, because I think it was about 8 seconds, but seemed to be more now. Maybe speeding into the pit lane does help. Since he's in for new tires, onto the hards he goes. Dino stayed out. But Smith is now up to P2. He's still improving on his time, so he definitely has some pace left in these tires. Let's continue for another lap as we reach the halfway point of this race. And that's an interesting strategy. Booty already caught up to the back of Rodo. But he will need to overtake him, because Rodo will stay out. Dino is in 10.5 seconds now from Wardy to Stubby, but Stubby has 8 seconds worth of penalties. Wardy has none. Stebo back up to P10. But he will need to box. Wardy. Oh, that's Dino, of course. Wardy back in up to P6. Booty's trying to overtake Rodo. Up the inside, better traction. Rodo doesn't fight it. But yeah, look at the gap. Rodo is already 11, no, almost 12 seconds behind Smith. Now you won't make that big of a gap, or you won't close in that big of a gap on the mediums, I think. So that's a bit unfortunate. A fight here at the back of the grid between Kieran and Dino. Great switchback from Kieran. But unfortunately Dino has more pace, and Smith is in. The championship leader. And the very likely to be champion in 15 laps time. So Stubby jump, where will he end up compared to Wardy? Oh, Snitchy 3 seconds. I think he might be ahead, Smith. No, Wardy has more overspeed. But is he ahead of Tonchek? He is, but Tonchek is going for it as Smith has no temperature in these tires. And he drops down when Dragos follows him through. Smith drops down to P8. But he has no penalties, that's the crucial part. But still in the championship position. Doing all he needs to do to get the championship. 24 people watching. That's a lot, guys. We are getting closer to our record every week. So I hope you all hit the like button, as Ivor always says, which will be great. And Smith is trying to get temperature in these tires. Because he's losing some time. Wardy has a bit of a gap. I don't know how long a pit stop takes. So I might calculate how much Andrew will drop behind Booty. But Rodo is basically a pit stop behind Andrew. After starting on the same strategy, and that is quite yeah, that shows you how much pace Rodo is losing. Oh, 28 seconds. Oh, that's quite a lot. Oh, it's a yellow flag. It is Matt has spun against Snitsy as the fastest lap. Oh, Matt has spun again. And as McLarens are finishing in P12 and P13, Stubby is attacking Rodo. Rodo is losing some positions, and Andrew is in for the mediums. And now this will be exciting times as Rodo follows him. Let's see, where does Andrew end up? Behind Stubby. But Stubby has time penalties. Oh, and Matt is spun again. He's not having the best of races tonight. And now we will see Rodo drop down the order. Behind Smith. And potentially behind Stebo, but I don't know if Stebo is continuing on. Yeah, he will drop behind Stebo. And might even behind Dino. So Rodo really dropping down the grid. And he will need a miracle to win this championship. But we will switch back to the fight for P4 then. With Dragos, who is having a great race so far. Currently equal on points with Kieran, so if he could overtake Tonchek, he might jump up to P13 in the standings. But he has the penalty, so he would lose to Smith again. But let's see. Andrew will jump up to P2 because of the penalties of Stubby. And Stubby, I think, might get a penalty for the contact with Matt, as Matt is into the pit for new mediums, and he is a lap down. Well, I wanted to check the penalties. There we go, 8 seconds. Snitsy has 6. What has happened here? Is it just Matt going slowly? I don't know. It might be. And it is looking good. It is for Ferrari. Tonchek, oh no. Steve still needs to make another pit stop. That's the only downside of this. But we could still get a late safety car. You don't know. And Andrew is closing in on Stubby, but the question is, can he close in quick enough to Booty? To stop Booty from going back to back on race wins after getting his first win last week. And then maybe the pressure is off of getting that first win as Andrew sets the fastest lap. Maybe that pressure is off and then you can push for the for another race win. But if you end the season on 2 race wins, you're ending the season pretty strong. And with currently extra 40 points added. Oh, Matt has... Oh, that's Matt retired from the session in the pit lane. So no points for Red Bull. They will likely stay in P3. They will finish P3 in the championship, and Matt will finish in P5. But Booty is currently only 4 points behind Tonchek for P3. And you do get trophies for the top 3. So Booty will hope that Tonchek will drop some positions. He will currently because of Smith, and I don't know if it is enough to get that trophy he needs. But yeah, we will have to see. He can still try and attack Wardy ahead. But yeah, Rodo is safe in P2 from Tonchek. No, well, if Tonchek wins, he won't be, but I don't see that happen tonight. But we see a little train here, and Smith still has all of his ERS available. I'm not sure why he doesn't push. Oh, Rodo picks up another 3-second time penalty, and so does Snitsy. Yeah, Rodo is having a disaster race for this in this championship decider. Because Smith isn't having the best one, but he has lost some pace the moment Smith started to have his prime, you could say. Because Rodo was very strong in the beginning of the season, but the gap wasn't enough for him to stay ahead of Smith. And Smith currently on 303 points which will give him the golden number on my screen, which means he will be the champion of the championship division for season 5. He was close to it in Baku. At some point he was in a championship position, but for now he is looking at that championship trophy. We will have an interview with him if he wins the championship, to end the season with the champion. And we get a good evening from Backer in the chat, and good evening to you. And let's see this train of cars. And Smith will be happy because he knows if he can stay behind like this, he will jump to P5 for the race. So yeah, that's a good point in the chat from Richie. Steve might take the softs and he has no penalties, and that does help, because I think he will end up in P11, and then with no penalties he could drive back to P10, maybe even P9, but he will be hoping for a safety car because he's done 21 laps on these tires. And my question is, when is Tonjak going to push for an overtake, or is it not possible? Let's switch to Andrew. Now Wardy is about 13 seconds behind Stubby. Stubby has 8 seconds worth of penalties, which will drop him to around 5 seconds, and with a potential report from Matt on the incident early in the race, he might get the podium, but we will have to see after the steward's decision. Who is that? It's Stieber going in for the softs, but it is still a fight for P4. It has been the whole race, these 4 cars: the Ferrari, the Mercedes, the Williams, and the Alfa Romeo. Steve comes back on track on P11, but he will jump to P10 because of the penalties of Snitsy. And he needs to finish within 6 seconds of Rodo to get Rodo his position, but Rodo is only 1.1 behind Dino, so if he can close up to them, he will get his P8 back. But that's the maximum he could get after getting caught up in the start incident. Andrew into turn 1, and Andrew moves up to P2 now. If Stubby is pushing, but Smith and Dragos overtaking. Smith going for the overtake, but he stays behind as he gonna overtake, and Tonček was close. But Smith was looking for a move up the inside, not wanting to risk a lot here. And Tonček is still putting pressure on Wardy, but Wardy is doing perfectly under these conditions. Can Andrew close in on Booty? That's the question. There's only 6 laps remaining in this season. And let's see, will Smith go for it again? These guys all in the DRS of each other. Tonček is getting closer, but not by enough. 25 guys watching the stream. Oh, it's a yellow in sector 3, and I think it's Snitsy. So Steve will get that P11, P10, sorry. But will we see a move from Smith? Now Andrew is closing in quite rapidly here. Steve fastest lap, and that jumps him up to P9 in the standings. Just 2 points behind Huss, and if he overtakes Snitzy, I think he will get that. Someone could spin in lap 27. Is that some secret knowledge you know of? But Struggles is close. It's lap 27, so we will see. And if someone does spin on lap 27, I wonder how much you've paid them. But we will see. Well, Dragos is closing in, but he has no ERS left, and that is what Smith will see when he's following Dragos. Oh yeah, you unfortunately lost it. I saw that yesterday. These guys are so close behind each other, but they're so equal on pace. It's quite interesting to see. Can Rodo put pressure? And Stebo has finally overtaken Snitsy for P10. Now he needs to close in 10 seconds in 5 laps, which is quite a challenge. Yeah, well, that is a good point. Andrew's tires might not make it against Stubby's tires, but Stubby has 8 seconds worth of penalties currently. And he had an incident, or he caused an incident with Matt, so I'm not sure if Andrew would drop around 10 seconds or so in those final 4 laps. Oh, it is fighting between Rodo and Dino, but there's also fighting between Smith and Dragos. Smith moving up to P6. Oh, and Tonchek was looking at an overtake on Wardy, and he might still go for it then. We got some moves near the end of the race. And Smith moves up to P6. He would have got the penalty, position anyway, with the penalty of Dragos. Now Dino and Rodo fighting again. Dino re-overtaking Rodo, but the pressure is still not over. Can Wardy hold on to that P4 position, because Smith doesn't have any penalties and he knows that, and he sees him closing in. And good evening to Glassy. Thanks for joining us for the final laps of this season. It is still very exciting, and we are close to the championship being decided. Oh, Booty takes a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and Andrew is getting closer to that win. He's only 1.2 seconds off now. Oh, and that is quite a mistake when you're leading. There's no need to get to search for the track limits here. And that sums up Butti's season. Close to success, but then a mistake or something unfortunate is happening and he's losing it. Smith going around the outside of Tonchek. Yeah, he's lifting because he doesn't want to risk losing the championship right now. Although if he did crash, he won't. Rodo's still nowhere near a championship position. And he is overtaking Dino, but he has penalties and Dino doesn't have any penalties, but they're quite equal on pace here. Rodo up the inside. No, he's decided to wait for it. We switch back to this fight then. The fight for P4 in this race. This has been a fight for, well, the majority of this race. But now Tonchik is defending against Smith. And Dragos is still not that far off. Oh, and Tonchek will go for a move on Wardy here. Lap 30 of the race. Toncek moves up to P4 as Wardy defends the inside, and he has Smith right behind him. He has no ERS left. You see the red blinking light ahead of him, but he's still within 3 seconds of Toncek. But can Toncek push? Does he have the pace to push away from Wardy? And Smith is looking for a move. Oh, and Snitsy picks up another 3-second time penalty. And oh, Dino is pushed wide by Rodo, but Rodo is up to P8. Can Wardy hold on to that position? Only 2 laps remaining after this. Again, Booty hold on to that win, because he's only 5 tenths away from losing it. Oh, and can Wardy hold on? Wardy now has the DRS, and he seems to have a lot of straight line speed with his wings. So can Smith attack? Smith does have a lot of ERS left. As we are entering lap 31 of 32. Look at how much Smith is gaining on Wardy. Both don't have any penalties left. He's using all of his ERS to go for it, and he stays behind. He will have 1 shot left on the final lap. And Andrew doesn't have the ERS to close in, I think, compared to Booty, but he's closing in on time, as it's currently... Oh, Wardy's struggling. Oh, it's a yellow. Oh, Dracos has lost it, unfortunately. He's dropped out of this fight. He was doing very well, but I think he will still finish P7 though. He has a quite good gap to Rodo behind. But Andrew now within the 3 seconds, but Smith is pushing for that P5 or P4. It will be, because Toncek does have the penalty. Smith takes the better line. And can Smith overtake on the final lap of the season, as we enter the final lap of the season already for the AlphaTauri boys? But this is Smith going for an overtake on Wardy, and Wardy doesn't have DRS, so Smith will move up to P5, and this will be P4 come the end of the race, and Wardy stays behind for now, doesn't want to risk anything. But let's see if Booty can hold on to that win. The future teammate of yours, Andrew. He has a lot of pace, but it is a 1-2 for AlphaTauri. We won't see any change in that. But yeah, Wardy was holding on to P4 for most of the laps, and then unfortunately dropped down to P6 right now. But let's see. We will switch to the front for a second then, as I think Booty might hold on to this win. It will be very close to his teammate Andrew. Across the line, Booty finishes ahead on track, but will it be enough? I think it's enough. It's 2 tenths, but Booty wins the final race of the season. But we will switch to Smith as Stubby gets a penalty. Smith, our champion of season 5, will come around the final corner. He has a big enough cap, and he will win the championship. In championship, Smith, our champion of season 5 in the championship. Williams is champion in the constructors, finishing P3 and P4 tonight in this race, behind a 1-2 of AlphaTauri. But Wardy finishes in P6. It is P5. It is Toncek in P6. It will be Dragos in P7, and Rodo, our runner-up in the championship, will drop down to P9, I think, once Dino comes around. Yeah, Dino finishes in P8, making sure Alfa Romeo finished second in the constructors, and Rodo finishes in P9. Stebo, unfortunately P10, and it is a P11 and P12 for the McLaren boys. But yeah, we will switch to our championship winner in Smith. And very well done, ends up with 313 points ahead of 261 of Rodo, and then it will be 243 of Tomček and 242 of Booty. So Booty finishes 1 point behind P3 in the championship. We got both Red Bulls in P5 and P6 in the championship, Matt and Raika, and then it will be Haas and Stibo, or Snitzy, in P7, then Haas and Stibo on equal points, and Dino only 2 points behind, very close there. But it seems like Ferrari got the all-tier title finally as well, so we got 3 championships decided tonight, and we finally got it, which is great to see. And Glazzy doesn't want to hear anything, but great job from Smith. I mean, he was down in P4 or P5 in the first half of the season, but then had a great streak of winning a lot of races, and he is for sure a deserved champion. And I think we will have a look. But Booty, once again, great race from P5 on the grid to P1 on a difficult track to overtake. These are the final results. Stubby from P11 to P3. Wardy from P10 to P5. Good race from him. And we will see if we can get Smith into the chat for a little talk on the if you can join. Oh,
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. So yeah, I want to say congratulations on the championship title, mate.
Thank you.
So
my heart is pounding.
How does it feel? That was the first question I wanted to say, but yeah.
Sorry, broke up a little bit there. What was the question?
Oh, yeah. How does it feel to win the championship?
Oh, feels great. I didn't come close last season, but I came P2, and I kind of wanted to go one better this season, so I was worried about the difficulty of that, stepping up to the championship, but yeah, just kind of found my rhythm, and yeah, it feels amazing. It feels great. And I just want to shout out to Rodo as well, because he pushed right to the end, and it was a great battle. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he took the championship to the final round of the season. It was how was this race? Because I saw you were struggling a bit in the train, you could say, but at the end you got the positions. But was it a bit nervous being in that pack, and maybe if you crash out, the championship could still change? But
yeah, it was. My game plan was I used a more high wing setup, because I thought if I get a good pole, not pole, but a good quali lap in and try and get pole or up there, and then try and stay out of the middle bit, because that's where I've had issues before when I've qualified mid-pack, and then I've kind of been caught up in a few incidents, and I just wanted to try and avoid that, and I knew that on the straights it'd be a struggle, but I thought if I could just kind of get away from the pack and burn some ERS at the start. But then I kind of mucked that up by crashing in qualifying. I was 5 tenths up on that lap, and binned it, so that was a shame. And then first lap there was a few bits of contact, and kind of just slowed down, avoided everything, and dropped back down. I don't know where I ended up, 10th or 11th, and then it was just kind of keep plugging away and try and keep tabs on where Rolo was and see what I needed to do, because I think I needed P10 to guarantee it, or just kind of match whatever he did if he won. So I kind of was taking it, conserving ERS and not making any silly moves, and then the last couple of laps I kind of knew, well, okay, Rolo's behind me, so he's not going to win the race, so it should be safe. So I thought, let's have some fun and try and make a couple of overtakes, and
it worked out at the end. So at P4 I think it was, but Constructors Championship as well, so double championship for the Williams team.
Yeah, fantastic.
And how is Stubby got a podium? So how is he as a teammate this season?
He's fantastic. He's had some real bad luck with some DNFs and been caught up. And I think at race 2 we actually collided with each other. He spun in the chicane at Japan, and I went into the side of him. So we had a rocky start, but the second half of the season we've really put in some good performances. And I think we had a Williams win 4 races in a row. Yeah, 4 or 5 races.
A
couple of good podiums as well. And he's great. We do some practice together, and we've I think. Really happy we got the constructors, and wish him the best for next season.
Yeah, so I haven't checked. What will you be doing next season as the champion?
So I'm in first division because of the assists.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get used to having them off for season 7, maybe with the new game. But for now, it's the first division. But I'm really looking forward to it because I think Rodo's coming down as well. I saw Ricker, I think, as well. So they're quick. Schnitzy and Dino as well, I think. And then in the first, I think the top 3, Goran, Danos, and then the champion Matti are all in there as well. And I think Phil from the Prem's coming down. So I think it's going to be a really competitive season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, another challenge as the champion, and maybe get another title if that's possible. But you never know. It will be very difficult. But
yeah, I'll give it my best.
I think for me it was a great season. I didn't expect it in the after the first few races because Rodo was looking strong. But then that mega, you could say middle of the season, after like 4 wins in a row almost, you changed it around. So very deserved. And for me, congratulations. And I see most guys in the chat have said that as well. So
cheers, thank you. I'll have to take a look.
Congratulations on the championship. And I think the final championship being decided because in Premier almost everything is decided. So
oh yeah, Colin won it last week, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. So
or a week before, yeah.
Yeah, a long time before. So
yeah,
we will have to see. But yeah, so thank you all, and thank you for joining me in the interview of the end of the season. And congratulations.
Cheers, thanks for having me, and thanks for the comms as well.
Yeah, no
problem.
problem.
It's been great.
Yeah, and thank you for the live system because it's great. So I really enjoy it. And I do have to say the fastest lap did work with the beautiful purple box. So that's
nice.
great. And
awesome.
Yeah, so that's a great addition from you, and I think you did great on that. At the end of the season, it did save me a lot of energy to not count all the points at the live standings. So that's great. Yeah, thank you all for joining me as well this season. I really enjoyed the season. I will be back next season. I don't know if I will be on the first or the championship. We will have to see. But yeah, for now, a great season coming to an end. And we will be back with pre-season, I think, already next week in season 6. So I hope to see you all there and still watch the final race tomorrow because there's nothing to play for anymore. So that will be chaos. And for now, yeah, good night, and I'll see you all next week.